Hello everyone, it's Alexandra. Welcome back. Today we are going to create two tags which are right here. This is the first tag and this is the second. The second one, sorry about the glare, the second one has the acetate window in the front. And here is how it looks a little bit closer. And besides the gorgeous wax seal stamps from Craspire, I am also going to use for our today's little make the pages from my first ever digital kit. This is how the kit is called, the tropical tag, and I just wanted to show you the pages that the kit includes. I think the monstera leaf here goes pretty well with the kit. That's why I wanted to use it. So let me just show you. This is the first page. It has the main tag, which is already embellished for you, and you only have to fold it. And there are more elements that you can fussy cut and layer either on this tag or on some others. There are two smaller size tags here, and also you only have to fold them in half. So one has a flamingo, for example, and the other one doesn't, because if you want you can only use the flowers or maybe just some labels, or maybe a parrot, either a green parrot, which is on this page, and here is one more page with another yellow this time parrot, and a few moths or butterflies, a few more labels of a smaller size, and another set of tags, a larger one and a smaller one. I have a certain idea about how these tags should look like. I tried to position some of the elements that I want to see on each one of the tags. None of them has been glued down so far. I'm going to create the tags first and then use the wax seals in order to embellish them even further. Let me just walk you through what we have here. I have the large tag, and in the kit that I showed you before, you could see that both of these pieces were connected. And what you can do is you can either cut them apart, just like I did, or you could fold them like so and have a tag which would be embellished on both sides. I am not going to create the tags to go into one of my journals. I'm going to make them as standalone creations. That's why I want them to be sturdy. I cut both parts of the tag apart, and then I backed each one of them with a lightweight chipboard. Then I distressed the edges, and now I'm going to use my corner chomper in order to chomp the corners. I'm going to use this tool, the angle side of it, and just chomp the corners of my base tag. Then I already wanted to add this little label here in the very corner of my base tag, and now I will move to my smaller sized tag that I'm going to layer in the center of the larger one. This tag was also backed with lightweight chipboard. I also distressed the edges, and again I'm using the same tool and mitering the corners at the same angle as my previous tag. If you want to add the stitching, which I personally like to do, you will have to do it now. I have stitched on the tags, and the label that I'm going to use on this tag also has been backed with lightweight chipboard, and I also added some stitching all the way around. Now we are almost ready to assemble this. I just want to add a brad in this smaller tag. I think I also want to string some twine through the eyelet. At this stage, you will have to decide if you want to glue the layers as they are, and I remind you that they're all backed with lightweight chipboard, or maybe you want to use foam tape and elevate them even more. I think I want my tag to look even more dimensional, so I am going to add pieces of quite thin corrugated board. Okay, next I also want to add a piece of board to the label. And before I glue this layer down to my smaller tag, I once again want to have a look at my additional embellishments and see where I want to position them. So somewhere here on this tag, I also am going to have a wax seal embellishment, and I'm going to use this stamp pad with a postage stamp and a flower. A flower is not very tropical. I think it's just a tulip, but it's floral, so it's good enough for my purposes. And I also wanted to show you that I've got this new handle, and I absolutely love it. I am going to add this embellishment probably somewhere here. That means that I need to add more layers of support underneath the flowers. In the meanwhile, we will work on our second tag. So I have the larger tag here backed with the lightweight chipboard. I also have a smaller tag that will be layered on top of the larger one. This one also is glued down to the lightweight chipboard. Just as previously, I am going to take my larger tag and chop the corners of it. Now for this layer, I want to create something a little bit different, and I am going to make an additional frame that will go on top of my tag with the flamingo, and I'm going to have an acetate window in the top frame. For creating this, I will need all of the layers to be absolutely the same size. I will stack all of them together, and then I will use my corner chomper. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and add stitching all around and then get back. And here it goes. I also decided to add a little piece of fabric. We will work on this layer, so I will put my base layer aside for now and take the paper piece, which is going to turn into the frame. It is not backed onto any chipboard, as you can see. And now I'm going to use my ruler in order to sketch a 1/4 of an inch frame all around. So this is how it looks. Now I'm going to cut out the inside section, and it will look like this once you're done. Then I'm going to glue the frame down onto the acetate layer. Now I'm going to glue this frame onto my smaller tag. I'm going to stitch around these layers of the smaller tag and get back. If you haven't tried to stitch this kind of thickness on your sewing machine, first of all, before you create a project and do that kind of sewing on the real project, try it out on a few scraps. Just glue together the same amount of layers of the same thickness and try to stitch it. If it works, that's good. Then you can go ahead and work on your real thing, so to say. But if it's not, you can in the case of this tag, you can just skip the part where you glue the base smaller tag to the lightweight chipboard and just have 3 layers here instead of 4. You will have the first layer, the frame itself, then the acetate, and the tag in the backing. Now I'm going to add the eyelet. I'm not going to add the string in here because I also have the fabric there at the top, so I think it's fine. Now I'm going to add a few flowers at the top right here, and I just want to see what will be better, how I want to layer them, in which order. Okay, and then I will add these additional layers in here like so. I'm going to glue everything down and show you how it turned out, and then we will finally get to the part with the wax seals. My little fussy cut elements are glued down to the tag. The bases of our tags are done. Let's play with the wax seals. I showed you before that for my today's project I want to use 2 of these stamps. One with a tiny monstera leaf and another one with a postage stamp. But I also plan to use in my other projects, and they're coming as well. I want to use some of these heads that I have here. So one has a branch with some pine cones. This is, I think it's called a Turing pattern, this kind of pattern. I really like it. It reminds me of all the ways that the ants dig out in the ant piles. And then this one is also very interesting, and I like the fact that it's shaped like a flower. But again, today we're sticking down to 2 of these, and I want to choose the color of the wax first. I think that for this tag we could go with some brown, maybe this color. No, maybe this color. Yeah, I think actually green will look, in my opinion, quite good in here. And here I do want to use something red. So for this tag, since I'm going to use a small stamp, I will only need maybe 3 beads. And for this one, I think I'm going to need either 4 or 5. I'm going to take 5 just to be on the safe side. And I am going to start with the green color. I'm going to toss the beads into the melting pot, and light my tea light candle and wait for the beads to melt. I don't know how it will go, but I want to use a piece of fabric and actually pour the wax onto the fabric, and then use my pinking shears in order to trim the fabric around the stamp, maybe fray the edge of the fabric a little bit, and then in that shape I want to use that embellishment on my tag. Okay, so now it's melted, and the main question that concerns me is whether the wax will spread good enough on fabric. So let's just see how it goes. I'm going to at least try and pour it in the square shape. Okay, that didn't work out very good. So now let's try to stamp. I might have a little too much of the wax in there, but I can't do anything about it right now. Okay, now from the leftovers, I usually like to create different size of wax half beads, or I don't know how to call them, but they look like this. And now I will just wipe the spoon. I'm careful because it's very hot, so I have here a few layers of toilet paper actually. Then I will toss the beads of another color into my melting spoon. And yeah, I wanted to show you, so this is my jar of the little tiny wax beads that I create from the leftovers of the wax in the spoon. And then you can just add them the same way as you would add half pearls to your project. And it looks so colorful and cute. I really like that. Okay, so while the red wax is melting, I already was able to remove the seal from the wax here. So first of all, that's the imprint that we have received. Very cool. Now let's try to take the shears and cut all around, just like so. And then maybe we can just, as I mentioned before, fray the edge a little bit so that it's not that perfect. We want to distress the edge of the fabric. Our red wax is now fully melted, so I'm going to pour just a little bit onto my fabric and then use the seal. I think I'm going to create another one because there is enough of wax in there after all. Here is the absolutely cool impression that we have received with this seal. I really like it. Very distinct and precise. And here they are after I trimmed the fabric all around them. Now the cute little babies are going to my tiny jar. And we are going to color our wax seals. Let me show them to you closer again. Here they are, and I really like the stamp shape. And the leaves are also so cute. That top part of the wax seal here turned out more bulky than I would want it to be, but in general I think it will look fine because our tag is very dimensional, so that part is going to blend with the rest. Now here on this tag, I think I'm going to use my wax seal embellishment like so. And here are our finished tags. The first one and the second one. I also show you a few more tags that I have created with the kit. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but I have added gold splatters on this tag and I absolutely love how it looks. It's so shiny, so cool. Here is another one with the yellow parrot and some of the flowers and leaves, and this one is dimensional, also with some gold splatters. And here is one more tag with a green parrot and another one of the Monstera wax seal. And then there are two smaller tags. They're also embellished in the back. So that's the first one. Rather simple, just 2 flowers, 2 leaves, and a flamingo on the tag, which has been embellished. And here is the second one with a smaller flamingo and another cluster of embellishments here, like a flower, the moth, 2 labels, and a stamp. And this is the back. Forgot to show you the back of these tags here. Yeah. I will, as usual, include the links both to the Craspire wax seals, all the seals that I have showed you today, and the link to the kit that I have used today in that description box down below. You will also be able to find there a discount code for Craspire in case you want to place your order. And thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me today. Talk to you soon. Bye.